Hi, it's Mr. Adams from Midwood High School. This is a video on mixed stoichiometry. This chart right here is a summary of all that we've been doing up to now, and I know it looks kind of ugly, but what we can do, we can block one side of it off, right? So we'll cover this side over here, this side, this B side, and look at the A side. Now, all we have on the A side is the fact that if you're going from moles to atoms, molecules, or formula units, or particles, you need Avogadro's number. All right. Also, if you're going from grams to moles, or back and forth, you need the molar mass, which is also familiar to us, known as the GFM. All right. And if you're going from volume of gas at STP to moles, you will need to use this number right here, 22.4 liters. Now, in terms of this chart, we did one other conversion. We did a mole to mole conversion. Now, the mole to mole conversion, we agreed we need a balanced equation, and specifically we need the coefficients from the balanced equation. Now, you can use all these facts, right? For example, you can start with grams of a substance A. You can go through the moles, all right? Do a mole to mole conversion, and then wind up with grams of another substance B. Or you can go in different directions. You can go from grams to volume, atoms to grams, whatever. Okay, but you can use this mole to mole conversion right here with the balanced equation to your advantage, and that's going to be in our next quiz. Okay, we have a problem here. Okay, it's a nice simple reaction, and they're asking a simple question. They're asking you to find the moles of BrCl, and you're given a certain number of moles of chlorine. Now notice they said over here, right, you have excess Br2. Now we have to be careful when we do these problems. A lot of times when they say you have excess of a certain material, certain substance, all they're saying is you have enough of that substance. But this substance, we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on what we're trying to find, which is BrCl, and what we're given, which is moles of Cl2. So what we do, we simply set it up. Now we have our conversion factor as always. All right, and we focus on the fact that we're given 2.74 moles of Cl2. And we know from experience the information that you're given goes on the outside. So we'll put 2.74 moles of Cl2 on the outside. Okay, now since we're looking for moles of BrCl, right, that goes at the top. So we put moles of BrCl at the top. Now we want to get rid of moles of Cl2, so we'll put moles of Cl2 in the bottom. So those units will cancel. So when you're doing stoichiometry, just make sure that your setup is correct and that you use your units. And when your units cancel, you know you're on the right track. Now this is a mole to mole problem, so we need the coefficients from the balanced equation. Now we are interested in the coefficients in front of BrCl, and we're interested in the coefficients in front of Cl2. So Cl2 has nothing in front of it, so we know we will use a 1. Okay, now where do you get a 1 from? Because there's nothing here, so that represents 1 if there's nothing in front of the actual substance. And in front of BrCl, we notice that there's a 2, so that 2 goes right there. Okay, the moles Cl2 will cancel. Okay, and your answer will be 2 times 2.74, which will be 5.48 moles of BrCl, and you're done. Okay, moving on. This question is asking us to find grams of BrCl, okay, when you're given a certain number of grams of Cl2. So they're asking to find grams of a substance, right? given grams of a totally different substance. Alright, so what we're first going to do before we start calculations, we will map it out. We are given grams, right, of Cl2. Now the thing is, what we're going to do, guys, is change grams of Cl2 into something that we can easily manipulate, that's very flexible. And that thing is the moles. So we'll change grams of Cl2 into moles of Cl2. Now, the problem is not done because we're going from grams to moles of Cl2, but we are looking for actually for grams of BrCl. So we need to find a way to convert moles of Cl2 to moles of BrCl. Alright? So what's happening there? This section right here, the second part was a mole to mole conversion. We just did that. Now, the last part, we have moles of BrCl. We want to change those moles of BrCl back into grams of BrCl. Okay, and that will be the end of our problem. So once again, let's recap it. We have grams we're starting out with. We want to change grams into moles. Then we want to do a mole to mole conversion and then change back the moles into grams. And if you notice, right, to change grams into moles, you need the GFM. Okay? To change moles into grams, you need the GFM again. Alright? And to change moles to moles, we're going to use the balanced equation, specifically the coefficients. Alright? So that's how we're going to do that. Now, what we do, we start out, right, with 239.7 grams of Cl2. Alright? That will go on the outside of our conversion factor. We want to change this grams into moles, so we want to find moles. So moles of Cl2 goes in the top. Grams of Cl2 goes on the bottom. Now, why does grams Cl2 go on the bottom? We want to cancel grams of Cl2 out, right? So we need the same numbers in the top and bottom. Now, in terms of this problem right here, from moles to grams, you need the GFM of Cl2, right? Now, Cl is 35.5, so 2 times 35.5 is 71. Okay, so we'll use 71 as the GFM of Cl2. And the GFM of any substance is always equal to 1 mole of that substance. Alright, so we set up another conversion factor. Our gram CO2 will cancel. Now we want to change moles of CO2 to moles of BrCl. So we set up a conversion factor again. We want to get rid of moles CO2, and we want to find moles of BrCl. So the thing you want to find goes in the top, so you put moles of BrCl at the top. In the bottom, since we want to get rid of this right here, we put moles of Cl2 in the bottom. We take a breath. This step, once again, is a mole-to-mole conversion, so we need coefficients from the balanced equation. So we look and see what's in front of BrCl. We have a 2 in front of BrCl, so 2 goes right there. We look and see what's in front of Cl2. There's 1 in there, or we don't say anything, so we assume it's 1. We put a 1 right there. Now what happens next? The moles of Cl2 and the moles of Cl2 will cancel. We've now successfully gotten to moles of BrCl. And our last step would be to change the moles of BrCl into grams of BrCl. So we're doing this last step. Now we need the GFM of BrCl. So we set it up. Okay. We are looking for grams of BrCl. The thing you're looking for, the substance you're looking for, always goes in the top. That's the nice thing about it. Okay. And we want to get rid of this unit, moles of BrCl. So we put moles of BrCl in the bottom. Okay. Now, Br plus Cl, right? If you look on your reference tables, Br is 79, approximately 0.9, and Cl is 35.5, right? So when you add those guys up, you'll get 100 and 15.4. Okay, so 150.4 grams is a GFM of BRCL, and that's equivalent to 1 mole. Be careful here, okay, because I saw some people matching 2 and putting a 2 over there, but a GFM of any substance is always 1 mole, okay? You do the calculations, and when you finish, you're going to multiply 239.7 times 2 times 115.4 and divide it by 71. And by my calculations, I got approximately 779.2 grams of BRCL as my final answer. Okay, let's do one more. In this problem, we have the same equation, right? Now we're asked to find how many grams of Br2, and this time we're given molecules of Cl2. Now once again, we are not going to panic, all right? We'll map it out first. We're given molecules, MOLE for short, MOLEC of Cl2. We will change molecules into something that we can manipulate very easily, and that's our moles. Now, why do we know to change things into moles? Because we're going from one substance to a totally different substance. So when we change to moles, that makes our life easy. So we'll change it to moles Cl2. Now, what happens after that? We'll change moles of Cl2 into moles of Br2. Alright, so that's our mole-to-mole conversion, where we do the Gauss equation. And last but not least, we'll change those moles into grams of Br2. Okay, so we just mapped it out. We're going to put our 4.53 times 10 to the 25 molecules, MOLEC for short, all right, of Cl2 on the outside, right? We'll set up a conversion factor right here. Now, we are trying to change molecules into moles. So molecules is a type of particle, right? So we need Avogadro's number. All right. So since we're going from trying to find moles, moles goes in the top right here. So we'll put moles of Cl2 in the top, and we'll put Avogadro's number, which is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd power. Okay, and the bottom right here, and that's molecules. All right, and that unit of molecules will cancel this unit of molecules right here for Cl2. We just successfully change our molecules into moles. We want to do a mole-to-mole conversion now. Okay, so we set up another conversion factor. All right, and we simply look at the problem. We're doing a mole-to-mole conversion. We want to change moles of Cl2 into moles of Br2, so we put moles of Br2 in the top. That's the guy we're trying to find. And in the bottom, you put moles of Cl2. All right? Now, since it's a mole-to-mole conversion, you need your balance equation, and specifically the coefficients in the balance equation. Now, this right here is Br2. You look in front of Br2. We see that there's 1 in front of Br2. We look in front of Cl2. We see that there's a 1 in front of Cl2. Okay, so that's nice and easy. So 1's go there. All right. And we move on to our last step. Okay. Now we set up another conversion factor for our last step. Now notice what's going to happen here. The Avogadro's number of things is always going to be 1 mole, right? Okay, so we're going to move on here to our last step. We are looking for grams of Br2, right? Now, what goes in the bottom right here? We're going to cancel this unit out, so we must put the same unit, moles of Br2. Now, we know the GFM is going to go here, right? So the GFM is always 1 mole, and Br just so happens to be 79.9, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, 2 times 79.9 is 159.8. Okay, so 159.8 will go at the top over there. So 159.8 grams is 1 mole for Br2. Now let's cancel all these units. That will cancel, that will cancel, that will cancel, that will cancel. Okay, you do your calculations. You multiply 4.53 times 10 to 25. Then you multiply by 159.8. You divide by Avogadro's number right there. Just put in your calculators carefully. Remember to use the EE or EXP button to make your life simple. And your final answer, okay, should be 11,547. Okay, so it should be approximately 11,547. Put your units in grams of Br2, and you're done. Okay, as always, guys, hard work plus sacrifice equals success. Look at the problems carefully, map them out. Okay, you don't panic, don't guess, don't worry, just map them out first. All right, what am I starting with? What am I trying to find? If I'm going between different substances, right, different substances, I need to have a mole to mole conversion somewhere in the setup. Okay, and you just go from there. So take care, do well.